Oke, jemaat yang dikasih Tuhan, hari ini kita akan meneruskan Family Discipleship Time dengan topik I Love You More. Ya, bagaimana kita mencintai pasangan kita lebih lagi dan lebih lagi. Dan khususnya sesi ketiga ini kita akan mempelajari 6 hal yang mensabotase dalam setiap pernikahan. Nah, mari kita buka hati kita, pikiran kita, supaya kita bisa mendengar dengan baik dan kita aplikasikan di dalam pernikahan kita, dan saudara bisa share diskusi dengan pasangan atau di dalam oikos masing-masing. Oke, enjoy, Tuhan memberkati.
We've got 2 little boys at home, and any parent that's in the same boat knows that that means action figures.
Yeah, we have action figures galore, and apparently one of the most exciting action figure in our home is this little ninja guy.
Yeah, and in fact, little John loves it that these guys sneak around.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about ninjas, but he tells me they're sneaky and stealthy, and their specialty is to sneak up on someone unawares.
And he loves doing that himself.
Yes, he does.
You know, there's situations in marriage that are kind of like this ninja, too. They sneak up on you and when you're least expecting it, and that's what we're dedicating this session to, the subtle saboteurs of marriage.
So turn to session 3 in your study guide. There's a question for you to think about.
We'll see you in a minute.
With each passing day, I love you more. Baby, you've got a way that makes me love you more. I love you more.
I love you more.
No, I love you more.
No, I love you more.
Oh, even though we've got issues,
Crying through millions of tissues.
I love you more.
I love you more. I've got to share this with you. I love you more. I have to tell you the truth. I love you more.
I love you more.
Baby, I love you more.
I love you more. Though we've got problems, we can solve them. I love you more.
Oh, I love you more.
So we're talking about things that sneak up on us in our marriage, and I did something, I do regret this, but I did something like that.
You do regret it? Yeah.
A little bit.
So we're newly married, and we're unpacking our things in our first Seattle apartment.
And there's piles of boxes,
Yeah,
cardboard
stuff
boxes
everywhere. So I open the closet doors and, just totally relaxed. And I look in and all I see, it's this dark closet with these boxes stacked up, and all I can see is just this head in there. It looked like Les's head was just disembodied. I mean, all I could see. And I screamed so loud.
Well, it wasn't even a scream first. It was just a silent scream.
Yeah.
As she's backing up, and she fell back on the floor.
I fell backwards. I started screaming. Then I started crying.
Oh. It was bad.
You're doing good.
And I came up and I said, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And she said, while you sleep, pal, while you sleep. So she got me back. But just to kind of get the wheels turning here, we want to pose the question, can you think of a time when you snuck up on your spouse, maybe not in that way as a sneak attack, but a time you surprised your spouse?
Yeah, it might even be a fun thing, a surprise party, although surprises are not always fun, even when they're intended to be fun.
Yeah, that was a sweet surprise that Steve did for me the entire year that he was in federal prison camp. He had made arrangements with a friend, and that the first month that he was gone, I received a bouquet of flowers with a handwritten note from him. And I just thought, that's so precious, that's so sweet. But I didn't know that he had arranged for a bouquet once a month to come. In addition to that, the other thing he did was he would send the girls a little envelope of little cards and specifically give them instructions of where to put them. So on a given morning, I would wake up and there'd be one on the mirror as I'm getting ready. Then I'd go into the bedroom as I'm getting dressed. There's one on the mirror in the bedroom. And then there's one on my steering wheel as I was
that's
leaving
enough
for
for
work.
Yeah, we're all in guilt now.
Thanks, Steve.
Hey, you had to be gone. Don't ask her if I've done it since I've been back.
Well, let me tell you something. We surprise each other with different things, but these little sneaky ninja attacks, these subtle saboteurs, let's highlight a few that kind of, I think, probably do more damage than we possibly know. Hey, Bonnie, you ever know that experience, like in high school or grade school, when somebody put a sign on your back and you walked around all day and you didn't know it was there?
Yeah,
Check out what you got on your back.
Short arms.
busyness.
What are you guys doing to cope with busyness?
We were just having a conversation earlier today about the way we need to be more intentional, because it's never really, in our life, it's never really going to calm down because of the kinds of careers we have. So for us, we kind of defer that, well, we're going to go do this when we've got time, because if we don't make time, it doesn't happen.
A key component to that I've noticed in our marriage is you need to both be on the same page when you decide you need to spend some downtime together, because I can recognize that in our busy schedules, and I can make a conscious decision, okay, I'm going to go approach my wife and want to have a great, wonderful evening or weekend or whatever it is.
And I'll be really focused on the kids and the activities and what needs to be done with them, and I'm okay, and I'm fulfilled, and I'm doing my thing. And
I'm hurt.
You're hurting me out, man. Help me out.
But to recognize that is a strong need of his right then, and to be able to accommodate that for him, that's not always easy to do.
But that's part of the answer. Anybody found the answer to busyness?
Being busy at the same time.
Be busy at the same time?
Together.
Be in synchronized busyness?
Yeah, because busyness can be very frustrating. What I try to do is, like, this last couple of weeks have been really busy, but I try to, like, position it. And I tell that to our children, so when they call and I don't talk long, it's not because I don't love them. It's because I got a lot on my mind, I got a lot to get done, and I love you, I'm glad you're okay, I'm glad you're getting good grades, aren't you? Goodbye.
Aren't you?
And, everybody's fine, the grandkids are fine, goodbye, kind of a thing.
But it's a window.
It's a window.
And you know there'll be an end to it.
Right.
And
That's a great observation, because research backs that up in a big way. Just having the know-how, just know, okay, this is going to be the way it is for a certain period of time, allows you to get through it. And it's when you don't talk about it, it's no longer subtle. It's no longer the ninja creeping up on you, because we've identified him.
Yeah, that sets boundaries to it. You go, okay, this is extreme, and you compartmentalize it. But what can sneak up on us is that myth that without us doing anything, it'll just be better because this program will be over. And then and it doesn't just get better without some strategic work.
You gotta be intentional. Yeah. I think another subtle saboteur has got to be irritability. I mean, I know for me, sometimes, what's so funny? It's
you haven't had enough to eat, enough sleep. Exactly.
Yeah, this is just one that creeps in, and it's not
I'm
that...
never cranky.
You want to talk to about the day you took me to the airport about 2 weeks ago?
Oh, gladly, yeah. I was a little cranky. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, Les had to, leave town, and I think it was a Monday morning, and it was a snow day in Seattle. So that's unusual. I mean, the city shuts down. There was a late start for school. So it was already a lot to deal with. I had to get Johnny to the school bus, and we're off schedule. And then, meanwhile, our little guy had a 104-degree temperature all night. I've been up all night. So I started the day cranky anyway. So Les says to me, I think he just felt moved to motivate me, and he says to me, Leslie, you can deal with this. Buck up. So yeah, thank you. So all the way home, I'm thinking about this, and very irritably. And so we get home, I get Jack tucked in, and then I sit down at my computer and I sent him an email, and the subject line was "buck up." And I just had a few other other suggestions of things he could have said to me in that moment that would have been nice.
She had her own little seminar with me. It was funny because I got into Chicago and I was having dinner with some guys at a dinner meeting, and I was checking my email on my phone, and I saw the subject lines come through, and I see that one says "buck up." Uh-oh. That's not good.
That's good.
Well, when you think about irritability and kind of this idea of getting crabby and kind of frustrated, we thought let's drive this point home and make sure we know what we're talking about, because crabbiness is something. In fact, I want to pass this around. Go ahead.
Are we going to eat it?
And if you want to.
Live.
Yeah. And I got one for you to pass down on this end of the table. But a crab.
We catch these.
There's nothing about this crab. I mean, take a good look at this guy. There's nothing about him that makes you want to cuddle up, is there?
No.
I mean, you just don't want to go, oh, I'd sure like to settle in with this guy.
Gumbo. Hot water. Gumbo.
Some gumbo, maybe, yeah. But here you go, Steve.
Not so much. Jules just
Feel free to give him a nice little.
I want to eat him.
Unbelievable.
But we just thought, isn't it when you get irritable like this, when you get crabby, it's like, excuse me, you don't want to grab from the front. Aaron!
They're sneaking up on you.
I know, she's brave, man.
You talk. Buck up, Aaron.
Well, it's appropriate, Aaron, because just like Bonnie had that sticker on the back of her shirt, take a look at what you got back there. Can you help him out?
You can't get it?
No.
Those long arms. So, do you ever get irritable?
I am a very irritable person, and especially when I'm tired, and especially when I have a lot going on. And what happens with me is I get very short.
When he's irritable, he acts like he's really busy.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
he gets up with a mission,
Yeah, that's right.
goes into the bathroom. Hits the table, but it makes a lot of noise, and I've got a lot to do, and I've got a lot, like that's supposed to tell me something.
How about you guys? Irritability sneak up on you ever?
Sometimes we'll be out all day, and I can tell when he really needs to eat because he'll just kind of get a little short, and okay, we need to find something quick that we can get. I just know I got to fuel him because.
Well, that's a pretty practical thing, right? When
Yeah.
you're irritable, I mean, it's pretty good to ask, okay, are we tired, and are we hungry? Yes, those two questions, it often puts it in perspective. But, busyness, irritability, they both sneak up. I think another subtle saboteur is, has got to be money. I mean, everybody struggles with money. We know this from research. Doesn't matter how much you have. This is one of those things that just kind of causes some tension, especially if you get into debt. Ken, well, same thing for you, buddy. Check out Stacy, help him. What's he got on his back there? Same thing for you. And I'm guessing, has that ever happened to you guys? Creeped up on you?
Absolutely. First 2-3 years of marriage, we got into the acquisition stage, as most young couples do. And it just caught up to us, and it really did sneak up on us quick. You buy all this stuff, and you think you're like the average Joe, and you realize you're in trouble. And so we got real serious about it, and really spent the rest of that time till now, and almost completely debt-free.
So how'd you do that? How'd you climb out of that hole?
What happened was I got serious, she got serious, we decided we're going to do this together, and we literally just treated it like a snowball. We took our smallest debt first, and we took all of our payments, every extra dime we had, and we killed it. Then we took the minimum payment from that, we applied it to the next. Very simple, very practical, and we got radical about it. We got mad at our debt, and when you get mad at it and you go, I can see the future, and I just want to get to a point where I can lay my head down at night and realize that I'm not slave to this and it's not stressing us out. So we just got real serious, and just through that process over a period of 4 years, we just killed it. And because of that now, we can talk about our monthly budget now with no stress because we put it towards strategic things. We now say no to things that we would have said yes to before just because we realize we don't need it.
And I think being vulnerable and being open, having people that can speak into your life, that you'll actually do what they say, not the people that validate what you want. And the best thing that we did was just to open up to other people, and it's not a lack of knowledge, but it's just a decision.
if I can add just something on the financial side, the simplification that has taken place in our lives financially has been the biggest blessing that really we could have had. And I just, I really, really recognize and appreciate, if it wasn't for the experience we went through and that difficult time, we would not have made the choices we had to make to simplify.
Wow.
And yet that's probably been one of the best things for our relationship.
What we didn't really recognize and what really crept up on our relationship was we couldn't have been from more diverse backgrounds regarding finances. To be married to an accountant whose hobby is budgeting.
I think, to me, it's our definition of debt is entirely different. To me, definition of debt is nothing at the end of the month on the credit cards. Bond's definition of debt is if we can afford the minimum payment, we're not in debt. And so she's fine with that. I'm totally uncomfortable with that. We're just coming from two totally different directions.
Well, I don't think I'm just fine. I wouldn't agree with that, but I had no practice in understanding from here to there.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't seem as big to me. But that doesn't make it okay. It's just that it's going to take our entire marriage before we really understand each other.
We won't.
Anybody else?
Stephen was out of town
This is recent.
one weekend, and so he goes, I'm going to be back on Sunday. I couldn't remember what time it was, so I went to his desk and pulled out the itinerary. And then I also saw an envelope from a bank, a bank. I thought, what is this, I handle all the bills in the house, and so anything, bank statements, everything comes to me, and it all filters through me. I thought, well, how come I haven't seen this? And so I just opened it up, and it was a credit card. And he had charged up a bunch of debt that I knew nothing about. And so that was like a major ninja in our life.
And it snuck up on me because I was thinking, it was a separate account from a little business. And I said, well, separate from the home. And so I somehow rationalized it. And what I learned through that is, even the business things that I do is going to affect my family. And I can't keep it separate. I got to have my wife involved in all the financial decisions that we're making together.
So it's true, isn't it? I mean, little things can kind of creep into our marriage. These little ninjas, these subtle saboteurs, we all have them.
They're so stealthy. It's like financial debt that just happens sometimes before you know it. And busyness and irritability, these are the things that really can tear at our marriages before we even realize what's happening. And it doesn't just get better without some strategic work.
You gotta be intentional. And it's not the end-all list, but there's lots of things out there. But those three in particular, I think, can do more damage than we ever imagined.